They are Santa's naughtiest little elves, the Smiley Morning Show. Broadcasting live to the North Pole and all over the world. This is 99.5 WZPL-FM. You're listening to Smiley's annual Christmas pageant at Moondog Tavern.
We now return to the Smiley Morning Show's A Christmas Carol on 99.5 WZPL, live from the Moondog Tavern. Scrooge lay in bed curtains tightly drawn shut, and he thought, and he thought, and he thought, and he puzzled some more. Had he just been visited from the ghost of his dead partner, Jacob Marley? Had Marley just said that he would be visited by 3 ghosts, the first to arrive in just 1 hour? Scrooge could make nothing of it. Often the case when he's in bed alone, Marley's spirit bothered him exceedingly. Every time that he resolved that it was all just a dream, his mind flew back again and presented the same problem. He had indeed been visited by his deceased partner.
Was it a dream then? A quarter past. Half past. A quarter to it. Ha! The hour itself, and nothing else.
7:45, 52 degrees. Pleased with himself.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That means like an invoice for this evening. Pleased with himself, Scrooge laid his head back down. But then a figure emerged. He could sense it. Scrooge!
Ah!
It was a striking female figure with bright flowing hair and a white robe, bedecked tastefully with summer flowers and a silver sash.
Oh, thank you.
Her expression was bright, full of life and hope, like Lindsay Lohan before cocaine and booze.
It was all nice until then.
She held a branch of green holly. A bright light accompanied her.
Are you the spirit who's coming that I was told about?
I am.
Who? And what are you?
I am the spirit of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, dummy, just your past.
Perhaps you could turn down the light
Do what?
that accompanies you.
Do what?
Turn down the light!
Hey, that was my line!
Oh. Sorry.
That was my line!
Go ahead, scream it
Stole
again.
my
She'll start it
thunder.
again.
Turn down for what?
It was turn down the light.
Hey, no, you said turn down.
Oh, okay.
I said
I'm
turn
confused.
down for what? Turn down for what? Oh, thank you.
For a white ghost, your language is unexpectedly urban, spirit.
Racist! Why would you so soon put out the light I give? Yours is the dark passions that would extinguish the light of truth.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend. What brings you here?
Your welfare, of course.
I can't think of anything more conductive to my welfare than a night of uninterrupted sleep and perhaps 5 to 10 minutes on RedTube.
Yeah.
It's porn.
Got it. Thank you. I'm not from that far back in your past. I do have internet. Your reformation, then. Take heed and rise.
RedTube would get a rise out of me. C100.
Gross. You'll give me nightmares, and I'm going to need a ghost therapist.
The ghost rapist?
A ghost therapist. A ghost therapist. You know, therapy for ghosts.
Yeah, right, okay.
Just come on. Walk with me.
The spirit takes hold of Scrooge's arm, and the bedchamber dissolves around them into a fog. As the cloud fades, they emerge in a familiar countryside.
Good heaven, I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
Your lip, it's trembling, and your eyes are watering. What's the matter with you? Is that a tear on your cheek?
What's that? Oh, nothing. It must be a pimple. Lead me where you would, spirit.
Well, don't you remember the way, Ebenezer?
Remember it? Remember it? I could walk it blindfolded.
Strange that you've forgotten it for so many years.
A group of boys run past. They're here any moment now.
I didn't realize we were there.
They grow up so fast.
One right here.
I'm so excited to be boy one.
Haha, we're having fun! Yay! The past is neat.
Scrooge looks on, wide-eyed.
Why, that's David Masterson and Robert Estes. Hello!
These are merely shadows of the things that have been. It's kind of like the Indianapolis radio listeners are to the Smiley Morning Show. They're not aware of us. They do not see nor hear us.
Well, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Say hello to your sister for me.
Don't eat too much figgy pudding.
I gave your sister my figgy pudding.
I gave your mother my dysentery.
Whoa! Too far, bro, too far.
It's the late 1800s, bro, so seriously, I gave her dysentery.
Oh, God, I better go check on her.
Ha, light a candle, there's a lot of pooping. Bye!
As the crowd moans, the countryside fades into a classroom. We see a small boy sitting at a small school desk. He is reading a book. He looks sad. It is Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge as a child.
The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left still there.
Poor boy. My mother died giving birth to my sister, Fan. It's because she had this weird giant head like that Lucas kid on the Smiley Morning Show. I guess her body gave way while trying to push out the Lucas head and killed her. Anyway, my father grew morse and seemed to begrudge us both after that. I wish, but it's too late now.
I'm sorry that he grew morse. Is that a disease? Or maybe he grew morose. Either way, what is it?
It's nothing. There was a big-headed boy singing a Christmas carol at my door yesterday. I should have given him something. That's all.
That's all. That's all. The classroom fades across time, revealing Ebenezer as a young man, pacing back and forth, agitated. Scrooge's sister, Fan, rushes in and throws her arms around him with joy.
Dear brother.
Fan, big head Fan, you've grown. Your body is caught up with your head.
I've come to bring you home, dear brother.
Home, big head Fan?
Yes, home. For good and all. Father is much kinder than he used to be now that my body has grown into my more proportional to the size of my head. He is in the pleasant mood, just like the other night after 2 fireball shots. So that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you could come home. And he said, yes, you should. And he sent me to bring you. Ebenezer, Father has arranged an apprenticeship for you. You're to be a man and begin your career. You'll never have to spend another moment in the dreadful school. But first, we'll be together all Christmas long and have merriment time in all the world.
Your sister was a frail creature and often ill, but she had a large heart.
So she had. It's what killed her eventually. Cardiac disease. Large heart exploded right in her chest like an overfilled water balloon. Doctor said there wasn't much to be done, as big-headed people often grow big, unwildly hearts, too.
That's not exactly what I meant.
Oh, right. She also had a heart emotionally, too. You're right about that, Spirit. I'll not contradict it. God forbid.
Come, Ebenezer, pack your things. The carriage is just outside. Jay Howard is driving it, so it'll be better to get on it now before the wheels fall off.
Are you sure Father is ready to have me home?
Oh, yes, I'm so sure of it.
But where am I to be apprenticed?
You will work for a wonderful man, Mr. Fezziwig, who keeps a warehouse. Now come, we mustn't keep the carriage waiting.
Your sister died a young woman, but she did have a child, as I recall.
Yes, a son, my nephew. His name is Fred Hollowell. He visited me just this past afternoon.
Yes, your nephew, Ebenezer, the only family you have left.
Yes, that is true.
Come along, it is time to see another Christmas.
The classroom quickly fades into Fezziwig's warehouse. Mr. Fezziwig himself is seated at a high desk, busily engaged in some bookkeeping. A table laden with bolts of cloth and other goods sits in the middle of the warehouse. A handful of workers, including Ebenezer, are busy there.
Do you know this place?
Know it? This is where I was apprenticed. Bless his heart. Fezziwig, alive again. And there's Dick Wilkins. We were the best of friends. And look, B. Moore and Tom Berg and Mindy Winkler and Scott Sands and Carlos Diaz and that listener chick whose name I can't remember. They all used to work here too. They're all dead now, I think.
Mr. Fezziwig lays down his quill, stretches, rubs his hands together, and shouts with glee.
Yo-ho there, Ebenezer! Dick! No more work tonight, my boys! It's Christmas Eve! Clear all this nonsense away, all of you! We must make room! Life is too short for all work and no play! I say it's time for a party! Hello-ho, Dick! Cheer up, Ebenezer!
Soon a party is in full swing in the warehouse. Revelers arrive in festive spirits, including a fiddler with his fiddle and Mrs. Fezziwig with her daughters. It does not take long for the dancing to begin. Who could resist that fiddle? Young Ebenezer stands by, enjoying all of the sights of the party, when a young, beautiful girl appears through the doorway. It is Belle, and she is striking. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, ladies? Yeah? And it is in this moment that a young Ebenezer Scrooge falls in love at first sight. The spirit and Scrooge take it all in.
It's such a small thing to make these silly people feel so much gratitude and joy.
Small thing?
Is it not? After all, what did he do, this Fezziwig? Spend a few pounds on a party? Does he deserve such praise as this?
It isn't that, Spirit. Why, Mr. Fezziwig has the power to make us happy or unhappy. I can make our work pleasant or miserable, just in the way he looks at me and the way he addresses us. A thousand such little things add up, you know, until the happiness he gives is as great as the cost of fortune.
What is it?
Nothing.
Something, I think. Did you poop your pajama bottoms again?
No. It's just that I would like to be able to say a word or two, my clerk. Bob Cravat just now. That's all.
Did you say Bob Kravitz? That's the ghost of Indie Star past.
He's at Channel 13 now, and I think you can send him an email.
What?
Come, Ebenezer, my time grows short. Look.
The warehouse fades. They are now outside looking upon a park bench. Again, Scrooge sees himself. He is a little older now, a man in the prime of life. His face does not show the harsh and rigid lines of Indiana's weatherman Paul Poteet. But it has begun to wear the signs of care and avarice. There was an eager, restless motion in his eyes, the shadow of his growing greed. Belle, the girl with whom Ebenezer had fallen in love with at Mr. Fezziwig's party years ago, sat wary on the bench as Ebenezer stood before her.
I know it matters very little to you. Another idol has displaced me, and if it can make you as happy as I would have tried to do, I have no reason to cry.
What idol has displaced you? Anyone who knows anything watches The Voice, Belle. Idol sucks now.
No, you fool. You've replaced me with a golden idol.
Now,
money.
There's a double standard for you. All the world speaks so vehemently against poverty, yet it condemns the pursuit of wealth just as harshly.
You fear the world too much, Ebenezer. All your other hopes have merged into the one hope of eluding the disdain of others. I have seen your nobler virtues fall away, one by one, until nothing is left but one master passion, the pursuit of profit. It consumes you.
What then? Even if I have grown wiser and more astute, I haven't changed my feelings toward you. I still want to make whoopee to you on the top of a pile of gold coins one day.
Oh, Ebenezer! Our promise to one another is an old one. We made it when we were young and poor. But you've changed. You are not the same man. Tell me, Ebenezer, if all this had not happened, would Would you seek me out and try to win me now, a poor, dowerless girl with nothing to bring to a marriage?
No sack of coins. Is that what you're saying, young lady? Ebenezer looks down, unable to answer the question.
Just as I thought. You may feel sad now, Ebenezer, but I've no doubt you will dismiss the very thought of me soon, like an NBA player flying home from an away game to quickly forget his Miami prostitute. I didn't write this. I'm just reading it. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you enjoy torturing me?
I'm sorry, but there is one more shadow we must see.
I don't wish to see it. I said it about the Paul George breaking his leg video, and I'm saying it now. Show me no more.
The spirit takes hold of Scrooge, and two gentlemen appear.
I saw an old friend of yours this afternoon.
Oh, who was it? Ray Rice?
Close. Only slightly less terrible. Take another guess.
Okay. Well, surely you don't mean old Ebenezer Scrooge.
The very same. I passed his office window. His partner, Jacob Marley, lies upon the point of death, I hear. And there he sat, old Scrooge, all alone, counting his money, watching his red tube. Quite alone in the world, I do believe.
Miserable wretch! Hate him! I hate the man who's about to speak.
Spirit, remove me from this place.
I told you there are shadows of the things that have been. That they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Please, I beg you, take me away from here. I can't bear no more. No more! The pain in my gut. It must be the same Selena Gomez suffers when Justin Bieber forgets to Snapchat her because he's hammering Brazilian whores.
Hey.
No more, Spirit!
Just as he could no longer bear his past, Scrooge was suddenly aware of being exhausted. That one last sentence was a mouthful, wasn't it? If you will. Overcome by an irresistible drowsiness, and further, being in his own bedroom once again, he reeled back to bed, pulled the bed curtains tight, and sank into a heavy sleep. Scrooge wakes himself from a tough, loud snore. Sits up in his bed. He looks around, and just as he goes to lie down again, he hears...
Scrooge! Ebenezer Scrooge! A lot to drink.
Why, there's laughter in your box, Nikki. That's what it was all along.
It's so nice.
Scrooge threw back his bed curtains to discover a new spirit, a large figure, seated upon a throne that was lit with 1,000 lights, bedecked with mistletoe, and heaped with a feast fit for a king. He was an impressive figure with a full red beard, wearing a green robe trimmed in white fur and crowned with a holy wreath. He held a golden scepter in his hand, which was filled with what can only be described as stardust. He basically looked like a friendly pimp.
Come here and know me better, man. I'm the spirit of Christmas present. You have never seen the likes of me before.
No, never.
You've never walked forth with any of my other brothers born in these later years?
No, I don't think I have. Have you had many brothers, Spirit?
More than 1,800! Christmas comes every year, my man. It's Christmas. Get me?
I'd prefer you practice abstinence.
Abstinence? That was only made up so Nick Jonas could be halfway interesting during interviews, and even he failed. At both. No. I think we will not be abstaining from me coming every year. Take hold of my robe, Ebenezer Scrooge.
You're barking up the Scrooge, buddy. But I do have a nephew who I found out just last afternoon might be interested in grabbing your robe.
No, dummy. I want to take you somewhere.
Better not be Pound Town. Where, pray tell, are we going?
You will see.
Scrooge reaches out nervously and touches the robe. They transport into the city streets filled with carolers, merchants. Imagine the merchants in Pound Town. Merchants and shoppers. I hear them now. Listen to them, so gay and happy. There's a great happy bustle of chattering, greeting, and a bit of good-natured market haggling.
I'm so happy. I'm the happiest.
The spirit sprinkles stardust from his scepter on those who pass by, which seems to increase their holiday joy. That reminds me of radio in the 80s, Scrooge.
Is
What a
there
dust.
a particular flavor in what you sprinkle from your scepter?
Scepter.
Oh. Is there a particular flavor in what you sprinkle from your scepter?
There is indeed, my good man. My own.
Your own? And whom do you choose to receive your flavor sprinkle?
Those who are of need of it most, the downtrodden and poor.
So you go around with your scepter out sprinkling your own flavor on poor people?
Precisely.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that sounds like a crime.
Crime? Why, I am Christmas. The dust I sprinkle is Christmas spirit. It's a gift.
And a curse. As they make their way through the city, soon they arrive at the house of Scrooge's clerk, Bob Cratchit. His family is preparing for Christmas.
Oh, what has ever gotten your precious father then, and your brother Tiny Tim, and Martha wasn't this late last Christmas by half an hour.
Here I am, Mother.
Yay! Oh, Martha, how late you are.
Sorry, Mother. I was out with Nikki from WZPL until late last night, and the Uber driver had to make frequent stops so that I could evacuate my stomach of the great number of ales I had consumed. There was much to clean from the walkway this morning.
I don't like you hanging out with that ho-ho-ho. But never mind then, you're home now. Sit down and warm yourself, dear.
Father will be home any minute. I shall hide myself to play a joke.
Martha quickly hid herself in a small cove behind the door, where the family hung their coats. It was just enough time before Bob Cratchit walked in with Tiny Tim on his shoulder.
Merry Christmas, my lovely Cratchits. Tim and I are home. Wait a second. Where's Martha?
Well, she won't be coming for Christmas this year, I'm afraid.
What? Not coming home for Christmas?
Oh, here I am, Father.
Well, look who's come out of the closet.
Oh, yeah, she's come out of the closet! Yay! That's great! Yay, yay, yay!
No, kids, it's pronounced gay.
Yay!
That's right. Thanks, Daddy.
My pleasure, sweetie.
Bob covers Martha in 1,000 kisses, while the younger Cratchits turn their attention to Tiny Tim.
Come and smell the food, Tim!
Come and watch the pudding bubble in the fire hole.
Oh, it's good!
Yay,
So
yay,
gay,
yay,
gay. And did Tiny Tim behave himself in the church?
He did. As good and as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you've ever heard. He once said Andrew Luck's neckbeard looked like a Bigfoot, and he kept calling it a neck squatch. And then he wanted to know if Andrew Luck's neck squatch was eating his Adam's apple.
Oh, yes, that's very strange indeed.
Yes, but then coming home, he said that he hoped that the people saw him in church because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant for them to remember on Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see. But he's growing stronger every day, I just know it.
Martha, help me with the goose.
There's such a goose, Father, such as we've never had before.
Mrs. Cratchit presents a very small goose on a platter.
Oh, such a goose!
Oh,
That is huge! We've got a good price.
Delicious.
A Merry Christmas to all, my dears. God bless us. God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
I had no idea Cratchit had a crippled son.
I wonder why.
Tell me, Spirit, will the boy live?
I see a vacant seat at this table and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No, that cannot be. Say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none of the other of my race will find him here, and what the difference does it make? He's likely to die. Then let him die and decrease the surplus of population.
You used my own words against me.
Yeah. So that in the future, perhaps you will hold your tongue until you have discovered what the surplus of population is and where it is. Who are you to decide we shall live and who shall die? It may be in the sight of heaven you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child.
And now, my dear ones, a toast. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
Huff! The founder of our feast, indeed. I wish I'd had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon and hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day. Don't go all bee on me.
It should be Christmas Day, when one would drink to the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, POS, D-baggy, slack-jawed, knuckle-dragging man-boob turned Ferguson as Ebenezer Scrooge. No one knows it better than you, Bob.
My dear, have a little charity. You're starting to sound like Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Oh, all right then. I'll drink to his health for your sake and the day's sake, but not for his. Long life to him, a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I've no doubt he'll be very merry indeed and very happy, not.
All right, good enough. To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
The Cratchits drink to Scrooge as the spirit sprinkles stardust on the family. They all brighten up and soon forget the uncomfortable toast they made to the miserable man.
I can't take no more, Spirit. Take me home!
Just touch my robe, Ebenezer.
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Don't worry about it.
Here, let me make it for you. The Cratchit home fades away and another home is revealed, but it is not Scrooge's home.
You've mistaken, Spirit. This is not my home.
It is the home of your families. However, look.
Is that Fred? We're at my nephew's home. Is this what his invitation was about? A party?
Listen!
He said that Christmas was a humbug. He believed it too.
More shame for him, Fred.
He's really a comical old fellow and not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
I'm sure he is rich, Fred, but with the very least would make him pleasant to Carmel housewives, no matter how terrible he is. At least you always tell me so.
But his wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't do any good with it, like donate a planetarium to Ball State or invent Taco Bell's waffle taco like Smiley's father-in-law, Charlie Brown. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it, and I sincerely doubt he would ever consider benefiting us with it.
I have no pity for him.
Oh, but I have. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself? Always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? He loses some pleasant moments, which could do him no harm. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not. I think I may have cracked the old boy yesterday, if I do say so myself. He has given us plenty of merriment, and I am sure it would be ungrateful not to drink his health. So here's to Uncle Scrooge.
I would normally take offense at such tasteless banter and laughter at my expense. However, in view of the general gaiety of the occasion, I am inclined to overlook it.
Your nephew isn't gay, Ebenezer. Janet is a woman, his wife.
I can't see that, Spirit, and it wouldn't matter to me anyway.
You said gaiety. I thought you were making a pun.
No, I just meant they were having a festive, gay old time and that I wouldn't judge them for making jokes.
That's quite noble of you.
Forgive me, Spirit, if I am not justified for asking, but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself protruding there from your skirts. Is it a foot or a claw? It's not a wiener, is it?
It might be a claw. For all that flesh is on there. Look, right here.
Oh, right there. See? The spirit draws aside the folds of his robe to disclose want and ignorance. Two thin, dirty, wretched, scowling waifs crouched and clutching at his feet. Oh, God.
Hello, we are very, very gross, sick kids.
Spirit, Are they yours, these sick-looking children? Do they have Ebola spirit?
No! They are yours! Do you not know them? The boy is ignorance. The girl is want. Beware them both. And all of their kind, but most of all beware this boy. For on his brow I see written the word doom.
My head say doom on it. Very scary.
So it shall remain, unless the writing is erased. I dare ye to deny it. I dare ye to slander those who claim otherwise, and see where it leads.
Have they no refuge or resource? Can they not be dropped off at the fire station or given to producer Will to be adopted?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Right, Scrooge? Right? That's what we do with the sick and poor.
Am I right?
Yes!
A final ominous chime is heard signaling the end of Scrooge's time in the present. A darkness falls. The spirit of Christmas present fades into a storm that consumes everything around it. A black fog swells, and Scrooge is once again alone.
Spirit! Spirit! Where am I, Spirit? Where is this place? Are those Ebola kids around? Should I cover my mouth? Spirit!
Take my hanky! What unsettling place is this that Scrooge has arrived in? What is this blackness? Is it Greenwood? Did those kids really have Ebola? Will this miserable man ever be redeemed? Find out when we return to the Smiley Morning Show's A Christmas Carol on 99.5 WZPL, live from the Moondog Tavern.